Yeah, it works. That took a little longer than I expected. So, welcome to Tarot and the Deviants, which is an extension of our Deviant Witchery show. Tonight, I am here with Melissa, the Dreadful Mystic, and we are talking about tarot in regards to, prosperity and abundance, which is going to be fun. And I just wanted to say, all of our shows have been so unscripted. We just say, let's pick a topic. We're going to do a topic. Okay, how are we going to do it? I don't know either. We're going to have categories. We're going to do all this shit. And it's it just flows. We don't really know what's going to happen. And tonight, we're going to try and do it like we did last week, and keep that, kind of going. It's going to be fun. And if any of you watching, if any of you have any categories that are in alignment with prosperity and abundance, if you have anything that you want us to pull cards on, not like a reading for you, but to kind of give a general understanding, or just kind of to pick it apart, and express what we express. You can definitely, we have the questions and answers thingy up. I don't know where it is. It's on our event page, not the YouTube link. So go to the event page and ask there, and it should pop up here, and we will do our best to answer that. And I don't know. I think that's all I was gonna say. Last week's show was fun, though. I had a lot of fun. And I have to say that I was getting really burnt out on tarot, and then when we started doing this, I'm like, you know what, it's fun. And then Nimbus River starting to do a little more tarot, and I like when other people who were a little apprehensive about the cards before, they start to get into it again, or they start to pursue it. And it's okay, I like that, because then you start seeing it through new eyes. You start seeing them discover certain things about the cards, and you're like, that's cool, and then you feel that energy again, because once you start reading the cards for so long, and I'm not saying I've been reading forever, just since how old am I? Oh shit. For a long time, for 20 years. That's horrible. I keep feeling old today. That's wrong. But when you start reading the cards for so long, you always catch new things, no matter what. But you start to feel either a little drained, or you just feel a little bored, or you get into these weird cycles where you'll read and you love it, and then for a while you're just I don't want to do this anymore, even though you love it and you're happy and you enjoy the process. But there's just something about reading that can be a little overwhelming. I don't know. It just gets to you at times, even though you continue to love it. But so when you start seeing new people get into it, and you start seeing them share like you guys have been doing in the group, which is awesome. Keep doing that. And we have a surprise at the end of the show, which I'll relate to you later. But when you see that, it inspires you again. It's really cool. It's really fun. And that brings the fun back into reading the cards. That just brings a new life. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't know where I was going with that, but I just had to share it.
Well, I agree. I did the same thing. I think tarot can be very draining on you. But even though you're not using your energies, you're still channeling energies, and that's still going to have an effect on your physical body. And I don't know. I guess, like you said, all tarot readers go through that period, I think, where they just sort of break away for a while. Yeah. But when you come back, it's just like discovering it all over again. It's like almost completely new in a way. You sort of see it through new eyes.
Right. And I think I have my prosperity incense from Lady Jane's Bewitchery that I am going to let up soon. I forgot to do that earlier. But it's fitting for the show, so hey, why not? I think the topic of prosperity and abundance, it definitely aligns with November's understanding and expression of, home life, family life, work life, hearth and home. All of that is included. And what makes a family unit, what makes everything flow, and we have to be honest here, what makes things flow is money. Especially here, physically, we have to pay bills, we have to buy food, we have to buy clothes, we have to provide, not just for ourselves, but you have a family, you have to provide for your family. So it's really important to have like a really good understanding of money. And we're all constantly learning new beliefs and new patterns about how we perceive money, because money is a very tricky, a very interesting topic. People tend to view it as taboo a little bit because they don't want to talk about money. They don't want to talk about finances. They don't want to, share information. They feel it almost makes some people feel dirty. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they're not comfortable with speaking about it. And that is something that kind of needs to be shifted and changed, because when you want to do prosperity magic, when you want to work with the cards and alter your situations and bring about more abundance, and abundance is not necessarily just about money, but I'm talking about that first, I guess. But when you want to alter those things, and you want to change your situations, like I said, you have to look at your beliefs. You have to look at all these things that kind of hold you back. And money is probably like the easiest thing that a witch or a tarot reader can do. Like, when you're wanting to work magic for this, it's probably one of the easiest things that you can discover, because right away you already have this negative, like this intense negative thought, process about money. Like, I don't have enough. I have to work too hard for it. I don't deserve it. Or, I am not of the correct gender or race or, faith to make a certain amount of money. I'm not the right type of person in the situation. These people get more for what they do, and I do more, but they get paid more because they're of a certain background, or they're blowing the boss. Who knows? There's so many different processes and patterns that people attach to money, and they don't realize that all these different beliefs, all of these different these thought patterns, these different energies that we give life to, it's a lot like the tower card. You have to kind of blow it all up to get to the foundation. And I also think of it as like Jenga. You have everything all hooked up, it's all perfect, and you keep taking the little things off. If you have this big old tower, you start working at beliefs that are up here. That's cool. You get so far, but you still have to get to that core belief, that core thing. I'm gonna put myself in the goddamn eye with this. Okay, you have to you have to get down to the bottom so everything else topples over. So you go for the bottom, like belief, the bottom, the foundation or whatever is rooted at that on that belief. So if you have money issues, you have to look for. It's better to dig deeper and look for that belief or that energy that you put with the core, because if you can kind of like figure that out and clear it, then it makes like manifesting, it makes like creating your situations and your understanding of money and the flow of money so much easier. And I'm not going to say that I am an expert at that. It's still something that I still have to learn. It's still something that I process. It's still something that I do to this day. I think it's something that we will always do, because we are so influenced not just by our familial settings, but society, people at work. Everyone has this belief, and I'm going to use that word a lot, I guess. They have these ways of saying things that hit you, and you're like, oh, that might be true. And if you already are sore on the subject, if you already have like really deep experiences and again patterns that are aligned with money issues or stuff like that, when someone says something to you that kind of resonates, it hits you, and it makes that even more true, because you're still like, you're raw. It's making your experience even more true, because it's supporting that negative thought, and
Right.
that's why, yeah, it's just whew, that was a lot of talking.
Well, like you can't. It sort of make it, the whole what you said made me think of practical magic when she's like, you can't practice magic and look down your nose at it. The
Yeah.
same goes for you can't do prosperity magic and think that money is the root of all evil, because
Yeah.
it's not going to work for you. I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't problems in the world caused by greed, which is often linked to money because the two sort of can go hand in hand. But when I think of my own money, I want money. You know, I want to be able to make sure that my family is provided for. I want to make sure that we can pay our bills and live a comfortable life. And as long as you keep, you know, your views on your money pretty solid and realize that money isn't the root of all evil, greed, yes, greed is probably the root of all evil. But money is just what happens to follow things like greed and power. You know, and there's nothing, it's not the money itself that is actually evil. And as long, if you keep thinking that in your head, though, it's going to affect any kind of prosperity work you do.
Yes, and you know what's funny is when you said that, it's like it's a lot. It's how a lot of people explain witchcraft and magic, that it's not black or white. It's basically in the heart and the working of the witch. It's the same thing. Like money is the same thing. It's like it's not good or bad. You can do great things with it. You can do very like extreme terrible things with it. But it is up to you to decide and to direct what it is you do with it. So, and like I have met so many different like witches and so many different tarot practitioners who have and there was a tarot practitioner that I communicated with a while back, and they were wondering why they couldn't make money reading the cards. They were wondering why they had such issues getting clients to pay. And then doing some work with them, it came to be that, like you said, they had this belief that money is the root of all evil. They had this belief that money was bad, that, you know, if they took money for their services, even though they were charging and still getting paid somewhat, but they still had this belief that if they took money, people were going to look at them differently. And so they brought that upon themselves. You know, they co-created with so many different beliefs and so many different energies that experience. And once that was worked through, once that was understood, they were able to kind of shift and utilize like the tarot to program them or reprogram them and their beliefs to align with what they wanted, which was, you know, fluid income. They wanted a better life. They wanted to help people, but at the same time, they wanted to be taken care of as well. And once they were able to get rid of like money is the root of all evil, once they were able to throw that out and reprogram, things started clicking. Things started, you know, becoming better.
Exactly.
And I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, I guess I suppose like if, you know, it's said so often, it starts to get, you know, programmed into us, and we're like, whatever, it's just what it is, you know. It's one of those things. It's just the truth, and it's not.
Well, and also, you know, a lot of it I think has to do with life experiences too. You know, if you grew up in a family that worked hard, but you always had to struggle for money, you know, you're going to build that thought process that money is the root of all evil. It's like, well, look, I watched my parents work so hard and they never had money, and now I work 3 jobs and I never have money. And you know, all the rich people would just keep getting richer, and the poor people get poorer, and you have politics and all these other things that sort of play into it. And what you have to realize is that you have to separate yourself from all of that and separate your own thinking and your own attitude on how you feel about money, and realize that, okay, yes, I see that there are problems in the world, but realize that money isn't just horrible.
Exactly. And what can help you through those beliefs, through that, you know, time, are the cards.
Yes.
The cards.
The cards. The cards.
The cards, dearie. The cards. So what did we start with last time? Like our like little category. And y'all, I know some of y'all are watching. If you have like questions about prosperity and tarot, if you have a question, like anything in alignment with the show, feel free to ask. If you have like a topic, like a category that you want to pick that you want us to address, for sure, as long as it's in alignment. Oh, I know. This is probably going against like what we totally just talked about. But why don't we? This is just fun, and it's been on my mind. So, okay, why don't we pull a card? Did we do 1 or 2 cards each?
1 card each.
1 card each.
Okay. 2 cards together, but 1 card each.
Okay. Let's have our like little subheader here. Let's have it be malediction. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shuffle. We're gonna focus on a card for malediction in alignment with prosperity and abundance, and then we will express to you how it can be used for malediction in those situations.
You're making it like tricky.
I know. Well, it's been okay. That question, like that, has been on my mind all day. I don't really know. Probably because I'm just mean.
We have a question. Do you want to look at the question real quick? Because it's kind of an easy question for me.
Sure. What is your go-to card for prosperity spells?
Ten of Cups. To me, it's just an all-around good card. Family. Where you can use it in any way. Family, your home, because you can have a prosperous, happy home. You also can use it in work. It's just one of those all-around good feeling prosperity cards for any kind of prosperity, to me.
Yeah. I don't really have like a specific. I work with like the aces a lot. Just because I love how the aces, they are like this divine blessing, this divine gift, and you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is like a divine gift of this physical, this materialistic aspect, and aces are like a higher energy, and they can be the starting of something, or they can be not necessarily the ending, but aces have this unique ability to bring in this like intense energy, but they also have this unique essence where it's not just the starting of something, it's like the culmination of something. They are able to bring so much together. So a lot of people read aces as like the beginning, but they can be like the beginning and what comes after the end, if that makes sense.
Right.
And so I like that in prosperity work, because you have to start somewhere, but you also kind of need energy that is going to go somewhere, and then it's going to take you somewhere afterwards. So you go from starting, you get to where you need to be, but then that ace also has this essence, this power that shows you that there's more after you get to this place. So let's say I need a job. Like I am jobless. I need a job. The ace gets me the job, but the ace also kind of gives us energy where now you got the job, you have something more, so you start something else. You see what I'm saying? Right. Mm-hmm. So that's why I utilize aces a lot in my prosperity workings. There's other cards, and it just depends on the deck too, because I'll connect with different cards in the different decks, obviously differently, but it just depends. I love the aces, and those are kind of most likely. I don't know if y'all can hear the damn howling. My huskies are howling, and it's like distracting. But yes, so that is what we use, dear.
That was a good question.
That was a good question, and it also just depends on what like your specific working as well, because it does.
Right.
Because if you're gonna because you want to tailor everything to your specific working, aces bring all that. But if you're gonna do something like prosperity, you need money for a certain reason. Let's say you have this big old. Let's say you have a wedding and you need money for a wedding. You can find cards in the deck that represent getting money, and you can find a card that kind of represents a celebration, and you can utilize that and direct the energy through each card to create that situation. You can utilize it to visualize that whole situation coming into fruition, and each card helps you to feel a certain way. So you can use it to create feelings. And this is so great when you are casting. This is so great for when you're creating something to be, because it not only like taps into your visual, it helps you to like really feel it. And once you feel it, you see it. It's like you feel, you see, you know it's going to happen. You create it even more. You can trust it.
Exactly.
Okay, so did you pull your card? Because I'm still shuffling this damn deck.
I was still shuffling. So.
Oh, I just got a nice little message. Okay. This, I swear, like, and okay, I'm going to just, this has nothing to do with this specific topic, but when I shuffle my deck, and I'm not even joking, like sometimes it'll be super easy to shuffle. Sometimes it's like really, really hard. And I've worked with the deck like, for 10, 20 years. It should be really damn, easy to shuffle. This isn't the deck though. But like sometimes it's not. So I take everything into consideration when I'm reading for someone. So if the deck is really, really hard to shuffle, and I know it's a deck that shouldn't be, it's not new, it's
right.
broken, I take that into consideration. I'm like, okay, what don't you want me to know? Why are you so hesitant about the process? Why are you fighting me? Because you can fight me all you want. I'm still going to find out. So if you don't want to know something, then I don't have to waste. Like, you're paying me. Don't waste my time. Don't waste your time. I'll take your money. It's fine. But if you're not going to benefit from this, then it's pointless. Like let's address it some other time. So definitely pay attention to how the deck feels while you're shuffling. Okay.
Right. And also with cards, just things you pop out of the deck on or those are very telling to me. That will be the card that I pick. If they're jumping out at me, then they really want to
know. Exactly. Alrighty. You got your card? You want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Oh my God, you go first, because I'm going to have to think about this one.
What the fudge? You have to look at this card. It just makes me laugh. But it's so... The Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, wow. I like that card, though.
It kind of reminds me of the Pillsbury Doughboy, because look at that bitch. She's like trying to poke his tum-tum. He's like, what? What the fuck?
Think of The Price is Right with the way he's got his hand on that wheel.
Yes. Well, the Wheel of Fortune is an interesting card, and and you can tell like there's like a broken heart, there's a hand, there's different things on that wheel. Very interesting. So you could definitely utilize this card to bring someone's heart right there, to break their heart. To break their heart. Like, okay, let's say someone has a very, very good connection with money. Let's say that you have someone who is like a lawyer, someone who's like really invested into the job, into making money. You could utilize the Wheel of Fortune to kind of take that and break it, like break their will, break their heart in regards to what it is they like about making money, because Wheel of Fortune is like, oh, what's going to come? What's going to come? What am I going to get? You get what I say you get. So the Wheel of Fortune you can utilize to kind of just command. And you can see this person has the control. This person's like, oh, shit, what am I going to get? Like, I'm sitting here, I'm waiting. I'm like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what's going to happen. And you're like, haha, motherfucker. I'm telling you what's going to happen. So Wheel of Fortune you could utilize, again, to sort of take someone's great success and put a damper on it, like alter it in a sense where you are the one who taps into the flow, their flow of energy. You're the one who taps into that sequence of events, I guess, and you're able to kind of like put a peg at every point where they're successful. So this to me would say, if you want to use it for maledictive purposes, if you want to see something like negative in a card, like in regards to prosperity and abundance, then it will start like in the relationship area. It might go into something more physical. There's different things that can happen, but it's going to be a process. It's not just going to be in one situation in their life. It's going to start, I would say it's going to start in their relationships with people. So they might, you could even utilize this to where they might owe debt to someone, and the person they owe debt to is going to come to collect. They had a good relationship with someone and they were loaned money, and now the person's like, I'm tired of it. I need my money back now. Give it back to me. So this is an interesting card to come up, and it's a major card, so we know that there's some big energy at work. There's some big movements. So yeah, when it comes to the Wheel of Fortune, I have to look at it. Sorry. You can definitely you could enter the card. Like, if y'all don't know how to enter the card, we might have to talk about that in a different show. But you could definitely enter the card and become this person. You step into the card, you become this person in the card, and then you direct the energy and you place your target as this individual, and you tell them what's going to happen to them.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Plus, you can, gosh, the Wheel of Fortune, you can control everything about somebody if you wanted to. You can really make every aspect of their life suck.
I know, and that's prosperity and abundance, like prosperity and abundance, like that influences all aspects of our lives. So this card kind of also reminds us that it's not just about like you go to work, you get money, and you pay your bills and shit. This money and abundance, prosperity, that influences every aspect of our being. It influences our social, network. It influences everything that we do. So this card has the potential to really, really fuck someone up.
It does.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. You could do some horrible stuff with that card if you wanted to. Okay, this card, I don't know. I've been thinking on it, but it is the King of Cups, and I don't know if you can see that well or not. Can you see it?
No. Oh.
Better?
Oh, no.
I feel like if I get it any closer, it's just going to be like retarded. But anyway, I'm sorry if you can't see it. Better?
Oh, I should have got my Shadowscapes deck out. Okay, the King of Cups.
You see? Okay, so the King of Cups to me has always been really a protector. Not just on a physical plane, but more of a spiritual plane. To me, cups have a lot to do with the spiritual plane, or just like healing, So I don't know. To me, if it was me, I would sort of tap into this card, and instead of having his cup as a healing cup, sort of make the waters churny. The water's choppy. Because to me, the King of Cups has also been closely related to Poseidon.
Yeah.
And so if it were me, I would use this to make whoever I was targeting to be forced to face rough waters. Nothing will be easy. They will have to really, really work to get whatever they need. And also, they will have to stay in the boat, and not get tossed out and drowned by whatever, overwhelming emotions that would cause them to not want to go to work, or, perform poorly at work because they are just overwhelmed by a sea and flood of emotions.
Right, and I had to look. I kind of I don't know why my screen is like all jacked up. Like when I see the card, it's really weird. But it could just be me, anyways. But I looked it up online, and that card is very cool. You could even the way he's positioned. Like looking at him, he's kind of blocked off to the future. You know, because the way he's
Right.
positioned, he's looking, he's like, I have a gift. It could be like, I have a gift from the future to the past. So he could be like commanding someone, or you know, you could use it in maledictive purposes where the person was thinking that they were going to get, they really were set to get a raise, they really were set, you know, they were really set to get something that was in the future, but it didn't happen yet, and you can use that card to tap into the energy to stop it. Like, no, no, no.
Right. And you know, he's surrounded by a lot of seaweed, and it seems like he sort of has control over that. You know, it's flowing just the way he wants it. Some of it behind him, some of it forward, and you can use that sort of trap whoever and make them be stuck in one place where they are not going to be able to progress forward. You know, they're going to be stuck, and maybe even stuck looking at their past mistakes constantly, because you know, we've all had those moments where, like, for some reason, every screw up we've ever had in our life just flashes in front of us, you know? And you can use this card to sort of amplify that feeling to where they're just, you know, stuck in the past, and they can't move forward, and they can't function. So especially if for some reason work setting keeps coming to my mind, but if you're in a work setting, you know, you can surpass them with ease because they're going to be stuck doing the same old stupid crap and not, you know, progressing.
Right. And if you think about it, like, cups represent, you know, water, emotions, fluidity, spirituality. You could utilize that to your working as well. If you're going to work, you know, use this card for malediction. You could tap in, and whatever they are prosperous or abundance on, you have to kind of alter the energy. That's like my fucking favorite word today too. Alter. Shit. But you can change the energy and kind of take this into consideration. Like, let's say you were doing a reading and you're like, you really want to do malediction, but you have to check in with your cards, you know, check in with your divination system. We're talking about cards. The King of Cups comes forth, and you could interpret that where you kind of have to tackle this process from a spirit standpoint, from an emotional standpoint, from something that is connected to water. So this might even be so basic as you need to do something with water, where you get a jar, add some water to it, get some seaweed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get a picture, wrap it, you know, there's so many things you can do. You can take that literally and, like, okay, the King of Cups is saying, I have to, you know, work this on a spirit standpoint. I have to work this on a very emotional standpoint. So I'm going to get a jar. I'm going to fill it with some ocean water, you know, some water from the ocean, obviously, and maybe get some seaweed, take a picture of the person, wrap it up, do whatever you're going to do. And do it from that, you know, connect on a water level. Another thing is, it might be confirmation that if your person's like a water sign and there's a lot of water energy going on, maybe it's confirmation that this is, you know, this is right. Well, when you're doing malediction, you already know that you're going to do it anyway. So it is right. But
and there's sea turtles at the bottom.
One of them looks pissed off.
Yeah. And, you know, you can force someone to stay in their shell, especially if being outgoing is a big part of you know, the workplace. You really have to have a outgoing people person attitude, and the person you're competing with, you want them to be in their shell and not be able to really speak well, or you know, come off as very shy and closed off. You could use that aspect as well.
Right. See, that was fun. Who knew?
That was fun. That was a lot easier than I thought. I was like, oh, wow.
I like that card. Oh, my God. That is a beautiful card. Y'all have to check that shit out. Okay, so my girl, Miss Rachel, the Spirit Witch, can you use the Hermit card to give someone an abundance of loneliness? I am not so nice, in a not so nice kind of way. You are not nice, girl. Like, that's...
Definitely. Loneliness, make them stay at home. Like, you can make someone agoraphobic.
Yes,
if you wanted
and you know what I would do?
Card.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Just terrified to even leave their house.
Yeah, and you could actually, there's a goddamn fly in here, and it is bugging the fuck out of me. I'm not even kidding. Anyways, you could use the Knight of Swords.
Oh yeah.
If you were really serious, like if you really needed to cause some shit, you could use the Nine of Swords, the Hermit card, and maybe you could use the World. You could use like the Ten of Swords. You could even use like an Ace, because like let's say you're gonna have them like really have this fear and become a hermit, and they have this paranoia. The Ace will start like this new energy, like they have this, and this new energy is coming in as well. So they're going to have like a new paranoia or a new thing that you want in their life. So after the Ace, you want to follow up with 2 cards that represent what you want them to create. So they have this, fear, this paranoia, this abundance of loneliness. The Ace kind of brings this new energy. It takes that and it brings this new energy into the next phase, which you are able to create and direct.
Right.
Yes.
And gosh, I'm just thinking of spell-wise. If it was me, I would take the Hermit card and get a puppet and put it in make a little house of cards maybe, or just a cardboard house, and stick that puppet in there and kind of like maybe even glue it to the floor.
Oh.
So it will keep that person, at home in there, oh my gosh, I can think of a whole bunch of stuff. But that would be awesome to do.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, let's say if someone is, let's say, A, stealing your logo, formulas, designs, and or B, trash talking your business and integrity, what cards would you recommend malediction-wise to avenge your prosperity? Ooh.
Well, as far as like stealing your stuff, to me, a good one would be the Four of Coins, because, in the Four of Coins, the guy's like really stingy and holding on to everything. So you can kind of tap into that card and pull, sort of a get my life back kind of energy. I would even actually add some like maybe get my life back. I think Dorothy Morrison has a really good recipe for that, actually. Herbs and stuff, and use that to pull what's yours back to you.
I'm looking, so I agree. You could use, okay, so let me just pull a few cards and I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's so many different things, and it just depends on the situation, but you could utilize like the Two of Swords to represent like a feud, to represent like the energy that is this like that's coming together, this battle. You can utilize the Two of Swords to help represent, the meeting and the meeting of energies, the pissed off and the bitchiness that comes along with the swords. And Two of Swords will represent that fight. But then you want to follow Two of Swords up with possibly like the Strength. And if you see the Strength card, it's like, bitch, look at this. I'm gonna fucking. Is he biting the tongue? Oh, sorry, that just took me. I just noticed. I was like, Layla, no, he's not, but he could be. So you could utilize like Strength afterwards, saying, you know what, I'm taking ownership of where I am. Strength is what I am. I am body strength. I don't care who you are. I will rip you apart. I will freaking. You got, sharp ass teeth. You got all this shit. I don't care. I'm stronger than you. So you could like top that with Strength, and then you could even utilize like Judgment. I love, okay, when I'm placing judgment on someone, when I'm doing malediction, I love like just throwing judgment down like over it, because like, you've been judged, bitch. I'm on top. It's like, no, you don't understand who you're messing with. You've been judged. Boom, throw it down there. Judgment's a really good one, because judgment people are scared of. People are scared to be called home. People are scared to be called out. People are scared to be called. So definitely utilize Judgment And what else do I have?
Ooh, the devil would be a good card too to chain, because the devil deals a lot with with physical things, and you can chain your stuff, chain your logo, chain your business, and make sure you pull it tight to
Oh,
you.
I like that.
And like pull it away. And I found another one. I'm going to show this real
Sneaky.
quick. The Seven of Wands. Like in this one, it shows a mother defending her babies. And that would be an excellent card to use as well to defend your stuff. Because when you think about it, something that you've created, especially when it concerns like art, business, that stuff that's created from the heart, it's just like your children. I mean, obviously your children will come first, but still it's something that is a part of you. So you can use this card to defend what's yours.
Yes, I like
really
that.
cute. Mama's just staring into that.
I like that. Okay, this is funny. I'll share this from Deviant Moon as well. The last one in Deviant Moon I picked was the Sun. Like, to me, this card represents, at least in this deck, is like triumph. Like, look at them, like all happy, they're in unison. And look, you could kind of see it kind of also represents the Two of Swords, because the Two of Swords, they were joined, they were battling, and now it's like these two energies. It's like, no, haha. One of them has more influence over the other. No more swords, no more fighting, but there's this rejoice, like this happiness. Not like you're gonna settle it, but this is more so like the energies are untied. You have what is yours, and you overcome it. Like, you have dominated the situation. You're happy. You get what you want. Rejoice. You're almost like dancing on someone's grave in a sense. That's what I get from that card. And this is the gilded, whatever, the gilded deck. I feel like Gilded Tarot. The Chariot card. What the fuck was I having so many issues with? Shit. The Chariot card and the Gilded. I like this because it represents movement. But if you look at this bitch, she's like, bitch, please, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? I got my shit. I gotta move. I'm gonna I'll freaking pound you on. Like, I don't care. I'll slap you and I will make shit work. Like, she is very, almost in a sense, like gypsy-like, because the chariot likes to move. They have to. It's out of necessity. But they're like, who do you think you're messing with? This is who I am. I will own my situation. I know where I come from. I'm actually superior. I'm on top. I remember who I am. And you have no place trying to be me, because I am a royal and you are not.
Mm-hmm.
And then just looking at her look at that, see?
Yeah.
Like,
all those cards are sassy in that deck, I swear.
They are. Which is perfect for a Piscean to be utilizing right now.
Right.
Sassy. Yeah, so there's so many different, and look through the cards, look through whatever deck, and just pick out what represents what you want to happen. But I would definitely like the Devil. That's an awesome card to utilize, especially in such a situation. I like that.
Because I've always associated the Devil, with a lot of stuff, but possessions for sure.
Mm.
The Devil is very material, or can be.
Yeah, there is another card, and I'm so bad. Like, I can look at a card and I can I know what it is, but being able to tell you what it is without looking at it, I'm so horrible at. You can ask me what this Five of Wands is, and I might not be able to tell you. Is that horrible?
It is a lot easier whenever you have it right in front of you.
It is, and I'm trying to there is a card. What the hell? I know this card. It's the fuck? I don't even know. Anyways, it's a Cups card. You'll probably know, and I probably talked about it already. But it's a Cups card, and it's where in the Rider-Waite, the dude's looking at all the cups, and he's has so many different options.
Seven of Cups.
Yes, you could use that as well, but reverse it when you're directing it at someone. So you turn their fortune down, all of their shit is falling out. That sucks. That sucks for them.
That does.
You know, it'd be really funny though, because you could use that almost in a sense if you tie it to like a physical, like a pentacles. If someone had plastic surgery, you know, you get what I'm saying? It's just all falls.
All falls
down. Yes.
I was sing London Bridges while doing it.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible. But you get what I'm saying. Like, you can see all these different things and you can utilize the cards for. But those are definitely great cards to work with. Let's see. What would you use to bring abundance of creativity, ideas, inspiration in artistic fields such as design, writing, etc.?
Like the first card that came to me was the Eight of Pentacles. Can you see that?
Yeah.
See how it's like a spider web, and
yes.
spider webs are beautiful and they're so intricate and very much focused on the artistic part of the Pentacles aspect, you know, because Pentacles are Earth, you know, anything that's earthbound can fall under Pentacles, and so when I think of creativity, I always think Eight of Pentacles first off.
Yeah. Okay, so I think when it comes to creativity, it really just depends on the person. It depends on, you know, and it just depends on also the type. Like writing, like you said, design, different types of creativity will require you to have different cards. I'll just pick a few that just came up. The Three of Cups.
That's a good one.
The Three of Cups is a really great card, especially when you're channeling. Three of Cups is powerful in oh my god, I need to cut my nails. Shit. The Three of Cups is very powerful when you want to really kind of let go, because sometimes when we are doing our creative work, we really just need to submit. We need to learn to let go of whatever is going on and be submissive to the creative flow, submissive to the energy. And so the Three of Cups comes in. The Three of Cups allows you to channel that spiritual energy, channel that flow, and you're not alone. So you have these different energies that are intermixing with you, and you can utilize the Three of Cups to be submissive and have fun. You allow that fun energy, that emotional energy, and you have to channel the correct emotions too. So call it forth. But the Three of Cups is definitely a powerful one in which you can utilize for an abundance of, you know, creative essence in a very spiritual and a very emotional way. I would probably, just being the way I am, I would probably like combine it with the Devil. Who does not want to be like creative with that?
Right.
And the Devil card is very interesting as well. It's very alluring, very seductive. It's very physical. So the Devil card will help root your experiences in the physical. So if you are channeling like that spiritual creativity, if you're channeling that energy and you're writing and you're doing all those, you could utilize and work with the Devil card to bring that physically, to retain it in your body, to remember. So when you're writing, it flows through you and actually onto paper. So the Devil can help you really bring that into fruition. I am kind of crazy, obviously. So this is a really nice card. Another card that I actually utilize for inspiration is the Tower.
That's a good one though, because a lot of times you have to tear things down in order to see them better.
Because and I do that because like when I'm writing, when I'm expressing myself, I channel a lot. I let go, and in order for me to get what I need to say across, I kind of have to destroy myself. if that makes sense. Like I have to like just create, like tear myself down, tear myself, become raw, become a new character, become a new vessel for that which is being born. So you have to really understand the tower card, because it's not necessarily always a bad thing. And when you're utilizing it for inspiration and creativity, it's perfect because it allows you to just get rid of all this shit and get down to the bare bones of things.
Right. The Empress is a good one too.
Yes.
Like you can see, she is very well, she's very connected to spirit, and she's also connected to creativity. I mean, anytime you see an Empress card, and I love the Empress card here. I don't know if you can see it very well, but she always is just adorned with just all this beautiful cloth, jewelry. She's always carrying something that to me just speaks of abundance, and you can use that in your creativity. To connect, especially if you're doing something, to me, art, any kind of art really, but drawing, creating is something that's very connected to spirit. You put, you put a lot of your spirit into art, and so the Empress to me is something that can connect well, and the Magician too.
That's funny because that was my next card.
I love that.
Yes, and depending on the reading that you get, like, if we're talking about creative abundance, if you look at the tower and there was a question about creative abundance, you can see the tower in a sense as like that culmination. That's going to be my next favorite word tonight. Of creative influence, creative juices coming together that are about to, like, it's almost like, oh, I did tell you about that. It's almost like orgasmic in a sense, like it's about to burst because of the tower, obviously, boom, see?
Right.
So it's this creative birthing in a sense, like you have to like create, and again, it's perfect for those of us who create things in artistic ways, because like you build something up and it might not be on the best foundation, but that's okay because it's an expression of art. And so it's not okay when it's like clothes, you got something falling off and you're like, oh shit, the nip just showed. But when you're writing and stuff like that, you can see the tower card as that expression where your creative essence is being made manifest, and you get to that point where it finally explodes and it trickles down and you have to start anew. And that's what we do as writers, as artists, is like we create something, we birth it, and then we have to start anew. So the tower card can be a very positive card in regards to reading when it comes to like an artist and creativity.
Right.
I was gonna do also, like you said, the Magician. Oh, this card is crease. I hate when that happens. Sorry, I just felt it. And Ace of Wands.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, wands are, I obviously associate wands with fire, with passion, creativity, seduction. They have a little bit of anger, which is perfect for, when we are creative, when we are channeling that creativity, we are in the state of amazing. That's all I have to say. Like, we're in a state of amazing, and all of those emotions that we have, they're heightened and they're so intense. And the ace definitely brings that. I'm really mad that this card is like crease. I don't know how that happened. Stupid. Sorry. So you can see how that is super awesome, because you have the two hands, like there's this gift, there's this burst of creative, energy that's about to begin, but that's also destined to take root and spread. So the Eight of Wands is a perfect card to meditate with, to have on you when you're starting like a new creative outlet.
Right. Definitely.
Yes. I need some tea. What was I gonna say? Um, okay, well, that's not. Okay, so Lisa, that's not necessarily in alignment with tonight's show. So we'll kind of tweak that. So what cards would you use to break like prosperity and abundance blocks? If someone has like a negative thought pattern, a block towards prosperity, abundance, what cards would we choose?
Dang, we've talked about some of the cards that come to mind right off the bat already.
Okay, why don't we just do this? Shuffle your deck and like pick the first. Like, let's pick the card, and
let's do that.
That will be more fun and more challenging. So shuffle the deck. So what cards would you use to break blocks in regards to prosperity and abundance? Oh my, I'm nervous.
Why?
Because I'll probably get like this card that's like super challenging.
Yeah, you'll probably get something like the Ten of Cups.
I got the Queen of Cups.
I was close.
You were close. Queen of Cups. So how can the Queen of Cups be utilized to break blocks in regards to abundance and prosperity? Oh my gosh, I need to shave. I need a tan. Okay, what?
I said she looks a little creepy.
What do you mean? Look at her. She's super adorbs. Look. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, okay. She got her good pedicure going on. Do you see that?
She does have nice toes.
She does. So, okay. To stop blocks. Okay. So if you look at her, she is more so, she's positioned in a sense, like when I'm looking at her, she's positioned where she is kind of taking the raw emotion, the raw kind of like, okay, I'm just going to say what's coming to me. So she's taking the energy of the raw hurt, raw pain, the raw emotion that she has experienced in the past. So she could be coming out of a state of, she lost a job or even she went through a divorce or a separation where, the other person got all the money and they got the abundant, lifestyle, and she's coming out of it. And she's still kind of in her own. She's a queen. She's royal. She still has an aspect. But if we're going to say how to utilize her in removing abundant and prosperity blocks, you can look at her and be like, okay, it's more so about, if you look at the cup, she's holding the cup and it's kind of, it's dripping. She has her hand there. So is it leaking or is it overflowing? It doesn't look like it's overflowing, so it could be leaking. So you have to, okay, to me, she'd be like, focus on moving forward, but make sure that where your heart is placed, make sure that you understand if it's placed in the right spot. Because when you're investing, when you're the queen, when you're the queen of cups, queen of emotions, whatever, queen of spirituality, you have to understand that there are so many people relying on you. There's so many people that you kind of have to, direct and you have to work with. So to get rid of blocks, you have to understand where you're devoting your heart to, where you're devoting your emotions to, because at the end of the day, when you are like this queen energy, when you are this woman or even a guy, like the queen essence, if you fit into this, you have to make sure that while you have to take care of other people, you need to take care of yourself, Mm-hmm. And so you can tell that she's not really taking care of, she might not be taking care of herself because of the way that the cup is, it's dripping. So she doesn't have a cup that's like got it together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This cup is like cracked. Let's just say it's cracked. So, and she knows that it's cracked. So this to me would say, take the time to understand where that break in emotion is, where that break in your heart center is, because it's so linked to the emotions and the spiritual. And this is funny because a lot of the cards that have come up like this have been like cups and emotions and spiritual energy in regards to money and prosperity and abundance, which is abundance. Oh my God, which is necessary. You know, you have to tackle it on that level, because when I'm traveling now, when you create money, which is so physical, it comes from the spiritual realm. You have to focus it in the spiritual. So on that level, it starts to build and build and build, and it finally manifests here. So again, the Queen of Cups, to tackle like blocks, you kind of have to stop relying on the past. You have to kind of like just move forward and choose to move forward, and not bring your past and all of your situations that you've been through to where you're going. You need to take a memory of it, yes, but you also need to realize that it has cracked you, that there's something that has, you know, slowly, like small, very, very minute. It has this influence on you that's preventing you from actually fulfilling your abundance. Because if that cup was full, like if that cup was like complete, it would be full and she wouldn't have to worry about it dripping.
Right. Yeah, it also makes me think, if you ever like tried to walk from one place to another with a cup that's leaking, you know, you have to, you're not walking too fast, you're not walking slow, but you're also making sure you watch exactly where you step. Every step counts, you know,
Right.
as you're getting there. So that kind of comes forward to me, that you need to make sure that every step counts. Make those changes in your thought process count, every single one. You know,
I like that.
you do everything with purpose and not just to hurry up and get there.
I like that. You're absolutely right, because if you, yeah, like you said, don't hurry up and get there. This is a process. If you try and make it, you know, too fast, you dump all the water out, or the water leaks more. It's because if you have a leaky cup, you need to go a little slower, be more cautious, so it doesn't like drip out all over the place. So yeah, you have to take it a little slow. So forgive yourself, be a little more understanding of where you are, and more so like just be patient. Don't stop, but just be patient with yourself. That's kind of what I get from the Queen of Cups in regards to how to overcome blocks. It's more so like, don't stop. And it's a card that really says take charge, in a sense where you do not need to root yourself in the past. She's like, I'm done with the past. It's over. I'm good. I don't need to live there. So let that be that, and start heading towards, you know, something better. At the same time, going slow enough where you can understand your situation, where you can understand where you're coming from, and start to work on things that will better your finances, your prosperity and abundance. Whew.
Yep, I like that. That was a good card.
That was a good card.
I got the 6 of Wands.
Ooh.
And I like this card. This one's kind of easy, really. As far as removing blocks and everything. You know, for one thing, he's facing straight forward. So to me, this is something that you need to handle head on. You know, and he is full of confidence, his arms out. He's just like, bitch, get out of my way. you know? And you know, he's even, not only is he very sure that he is going to move past those obstacles and remove those blocks, but he's also sort of got his way marked. You know, there's like all the other wands are sort of lining up the path. So he can clearly see which way he needs to go, and he can clearly, you know, walk down that path with confidence. So to me, that says, you know, you really need to have confidence in yourself. Don't let these things that are blocking you right now, you know, trip you up, or play any kind of head games. You know, just fire on through. Go. You know, move forward. And to me, again, this sort of makes me think of your card, because I think of very deliberate steps. You know, you've got a rocky path to go down. It's easy to go down. But he needs to take very deliberate steps to walk down that path.
I like that card too, because if you look at that, there's a lot of growth in that card. And if you look at the hand positions, I'm sorry if I'm looking that way, I'm looking at the card in a bigger setting. If you look at the hand positions, it's like he's very commanding.
Yes.
Is it a he or is it a she?
It's a he.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a he.
It looks like shit. Like, I don't know. Anyways. So you can see that's very commanding, but in a way that's a little more, in a sense, kind of a little submissive. Like, I know what I'm capable of. I'm not like I'm commanding, but I'm also asking at the same time, because there's a way to ask and command at the same time, which is a little more respectful.
Right.
And you see the wands and even the tree in the background like growing.
Mm-hmm.
See it like kind of coming up, and it kind of like it almost moves like with the body language. I know the body is like all up like this and stuff, but there's just something like there's movement in the cards. It's really interesting. So
Yeah.
almost like you said, like you kind of have to just go with it in a sense, like a little slower,
Right.
not too fast, but you have to know that this is what you're doing. You have to know that the block that is in place is not necessarily a block. It's just a challenge that must be understood. And again, if you look, he is dealing with the present moment. She was dealing with coming out of the past, not dealing with the past, honoring the present moment, but directed towards the future. He's
Right.
all in the now. He's in the present moment. Like, this is who we are. We're channeling this energy. We're not gonna allow a block to hinder us, but we will understand it. We'll bring, and this could be another thing, is to bring fire energy into it to remove the block. Where she's like, bring water energy, bring emotion, bring this water essence to understand the block. She could be, and like with her, she could be like, the block is, it has to do with emotions. It has to do with something on an emotional setting, or even a spiritual level. He might be, it's more like passionate, it's more fiery, it has to do with like the fire element, something along those lines. I like that card though.
I like that card too. It's really, I just love the artwork. I love the artist. She is, she was like, I believe, a flamenco dancer. And it comes out in the cards very much. Like, she puts movement in the cards, and I like that.
I like that too. Okay, we have been talking for days, and it's kind of like our time to kind of slow down and close out. But thank y'all for asking all those questions, because that was fun, and I really hope that you guys are able to take something from us expressing the different aspects of the cards, at least for that current time. And if you do like, what we're doing, just definitely comment on the videos. Tell us, what's going on. If you want to talk tarot, that's what I was going to tell you. Yeah. Anyways, we decided that we're going to do like a folder, like an album in the Deviant Witchery group. We will title it Tarot and the Deviants, and we'll like have like a little study there. We'll have like little prompts, or we'll put something up where we can all kind of come together and just throw our insights out, and see what happens. It's fun, kind of like what
Hunter
yes, has been doing with his 3 cards, but also in a different way as well. And if you want to start doing like video responses to anything that you've seen here, like anything, like if you see a card that we've talked on a certain topic, go ahead and do it. If you want to like pull a card for malediction and tell us how you would use that in malediction, tell us how you would use it to bring prosperity, please do so and tag us, because we want to watch it. We love looking at new stuff. It's fun.
Yeah, and just pull if you do that, just pull a random card. Don't plan it out. Just pull a random card and just see what you get from it. Because to me, that is one of the best ways to learn tarot, is to pull a random card and say, well, I'm going to, whatever card I use, I'm going to make it fit this situation, or see how it fits in this situation. And you will learn so much.
Yeah,
the next level learning.
It's super, super, and you can obviously see that we do that. We do that here, you know, we've done that, and it's interesting because it takes you a second to like, okay, how do I fit this in? How do I, okay, and then once you get it, it's like, okay, it makes more sense. Okay, you keep going and going, and then you learn so much more about the card. So yeah, if you want to do like a video response, definitely shuffle your deck, focus on prosperity and abundance, and take a subheader. And it could be malediction. It could be like, how would you use it for protection in like prosperity and abundance? How would you use it for love? How that would be interesting, you know, in a relationship setting. How do you like do prosperity abundance in a relationship setting? Take something. You don't. It doesn't have to be those, but take something. Shuffle your cards. Pull one or two. Do a video response and tell us how you would use those cards in that situation. Absolutely. But that would be fun. Mm-hmm. Now that's going to be interesting. I hope people take advantage of that because I want to see that. I want to see people start engaging more with the cards and engaging more with us and like just talking. And the more that we engage with each other, the more that we talk with each other, the more we learn about the cards, and then the more we grow and the more we are better able to serve the people who we read for. And if we just read for ourselves, we're better off, you know, with ourselves as well.
Exactly.
So since there's no questions, is there anything else you'd like to say before we say ciao?
I can't think of anything other than it's been fun. Everyone had great questions. I loved it. It was an awesome conversation.
Yes, it was. So we shall see you again soon. Peace out.